Welcome
to LeagueCast. Let's go.
Intriguing.
Without delay.
Hello and welcome to episode 353 of the LeagueCast podcast. I'm your host, Nick King Cooper. Joining me, Aiden Frost Rockhards.
Hello.
Colton Blue Basket Sweat.
Hello.
And that's it. So hey, this week we're going to be talking about some new champion stuff. I don't know if there's been anything released yet. They've done a pretty good job of keeping this one under lock and key. But there's, I guess, something. Honor and reward changes, so Aiden can regret his move to LAN. We're going to be talking about Lissandra. Got a round table question. A pretty spicy cheese pick with a cheese that I don't even know what that is. And 2 emails. But before we get into our week, we have an ad read from our sponsor. We have a sponsor this episode. So this episode of LeagueCast is sponsored by GameFlip Gigs. GameFlip Gigs is a website built to offer gamers a one-stop shop for all services related to games. GameFlip Gigs is the place to go to learn how to build faster in Fortnite, dominate with a custom-built Hearthstone deck, or my favorite part, finding any gaming services related to League, including more efficient jungling pathing, personalized coaching, or even finding custom League Twitch emotes, all backed by their 100% cashback guarantee, and all brought together on a single website. Currently, GameFlip Gigs is looking for any and all interested gig sellers to sign up for free to take part in their gig beta, which allows sellers to market their services to interested buyers. In addition, current beta gig sellers can earn up to $1,000 in bonuses and a flat 10% bonus to anything over $1,000. The best part of this entire offer is that gig sellers can be anyone. If you have the ability to coach macro or micro league, organize tournaments, create custom Twitch emotes or overlays, or literally anything in between, you can utilize GameFlip Gigs. And if you're looking for those, you can find them there too. The beta will be ending soon, so if you are interested in becoming a GameFlip Gig seller, head over to gameflip.com/gigs to sign up for free today. Once again, that is GameFlip, GameFlip.com/gigs, GIGS. Thank you to GameFlip for sponsoring this episode. So Aiden, how was your week?
My week was good. I was actually super busy, so I didn't play that much until starting last night, where I started my fucking MapleStory grind.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm playing that garbage again. No, but I'm playing a Corsair because they have a Terra Mega Burning event right now, so I can level up to 200 super fast, Nick.
What level are you now? Yesterday
100.
you were 40. Oh my god.
It's a Terra Mega Giga level up thing?
Terra
What is
Mega Burning, dude.
Yeah,
Terra
come on,
Mega
are you listening?
Burning.
Because there's usually Mega Burning events, and they usually level you up to 150 real quick, because you level up 3 times the pace. But now, this is Terra Mega Burning, and you level up to 200 at that speed.
Okay.
So I'm going to have some fun, and then I'll probably stop playing when I hit 200, because that's all I just want high-level characters. And then one day when I play the game, I'll have a bunch of high-level characters, and I'll be happy.
When you sell your account?
Yeah.
Get $20.
You'll be happy then.
Yeah.
That's what we
Other
tell
than that,
ourselves.
though, I didn't really play much other games, I don't think. Not that none that come to mind. I'm hoping to play a lot this week, though. All that I've really been doing since I got back is I've been watching Smash Summit, because that started yesterday, and it's been really, really good so far.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch the Mafia that you suggested.
It's one of the best games of Mafia I've ever seen. They started with 18 players, let's put it that way.
Ooh, how much do they usually start with?
It's usually less. It's usually 10 or 12, I guess. I've never seen a game of 18 players. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They started with fucking 4 Mafia, because that was the ratio. So that's pretty wild. A lot of fun.
Do they random lynch someone night one?
Dude, their night one discussion went on for 25 minutes though. They had to get a talking hat, a captain's hat, so 18 people wouldn't just talk over each other.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
And all I like, dude, is all Mango says is that he's and I quote, town as fuck.
Seems
also,
like he's pretty tone.
You'll like it because fucking Scar is dude. His facial expressions are so fucking good.
Scar's he's one of my favorite parts of the Melee community.
Yeah. So either I'm
Especially
super
playing
excited.
Mafia, he's so good.
Yeah. So I didn't really play too much League or anything, so that's my week.
Sweet. Aiden, Colton, how was your week?
Yeah, Aiden, tell your week again.
Let's run it back.
Yeah, my week's pretty good, pretty busy now that I'm back to working again. So I worked 3 days this week and then school the other 2 days. So I'm Mr. Work in School along with you now, Nick.
Kind of sucks, huh?
No, I mean, I don't know, it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's manageable. I'm not, full-time, though, for both. I'm still part-time at work while I'm in school, so that's nice for me. Starting to get into a little bit more interesting stuff. Still a lot of, finishing up that project of, verifying all of those reports throughout the year, so it's, 250 or so, 5-6 page reports that I'm just, verifying the information in them is correct. Which that's pretty boring. But then soon I think I'll be getting into some more fun stuff. Otherwise, played some PUBG, played some League, not a whole lot of either. Let's see if I'm trying to really think if I did anything else. There was a little carnival going on at my college where you could just play games for free. So I got some tickets and won some stuff for free. Ended up going to a class 45 minutes late. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get all the free shit I can. Hell yeah. So I got a card game and some candy and a t-shirt. But hey, free stuff is free stuff. Aside from that, yeah, I mean, I've been watching Daredevil through from the start, so I can watch the 3rd season. Still good.
With Ben Affleck? The movie with Ben Affleck?
No, the
movie's so fucking
series
bad
on Netflix that isn't hot garbage. But yeah, I feel like there's supposed to be something else. Oh, did I talk about the CS:GO event I went to? No, because that was that weekend after, yeah. So, this last weekend I went to IEM Chicago, which was a Counter-Strike tournament. So Saturday was the semifinals, which was 2 best-of-3s, and then Sunday was the finals, which was a best-of-5. Really enjoyed it, had a really good time. One thing they did, which was super hype, is that when you walk in, they just have these people handing out these little bracelets that when the bomb gets planted, they'll synchronize with the bomb timer. So everyone in the audience is just glowing up when the bomb gets planted and counting down, and it starts beeping faster and faster. And it's just so cool looking around and seeing that happen.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then during intermissions, they'll just be multicolor and stuff like that, or at certain points, they'll coincide if you're clapping, and every time you clap, it'll light up. So that was just really hype, and it was funny because you could grab as many of them really as you wanted. They were just in these big buckets, so people were wrapping them around their head, making big necklaces. Some people had some on their ankles and their thighs and their forearms and their wrists and everywhere, so you could just see them from a mile away. It was just really interesting. But after that, I went out to some bars with a buddy of mine in the city and was out till about 4 a.m. doing that, and went back to the tournament the next day. And that evening we went out with Alex and Kennedy to get some Korean barbecue, which was also very good. So I had a busy weekend last weekend, and it was a good time. But yeah, that's my week. Now that I've rambled on. How was your week, buddy?
Hey, my week, work and school. Obviously, I started a new class this week, and that's been eating up a lot of my time during the week. But last weekend, I played probably 50 games of League of Legends, and I'm not sure if that's an exaggeration or not. But I played a lot, and it was really fun. I had a good time. League is not that bad, actually. And I guess that's mostly it. Mostly just playing a lot of games on the weekend. So yeah, it was fun. Let's go into the Rising news,
where we have almost no news. All we know is that there's going to be a new champion revealed on the 19th.
Poggers.
No, we know his name. It's Claim the Advantage.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think Aiden, you didn't see that meme either, did you?
I sure did, because you've told
you
me a
did.
couple times.
Yeah.
I love the community just like making that a thing.
No, but
That's pretty funny.
assuming it follows Riot's champion upcoming timeline thing, this should be the quote-unquote colorful mage. So I'm excited. I want another mage. I think mages make the game more fun. More than AD carry reveals.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
sure.
get another Zoe in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dog.
We need something to ruin the game for a couple months. for a couple months until the ranked season starts.
I'm
We
down.
need something to complain about that isn't ranked.
I'm hoping that this colorful mage is a jungler. I think that would be really cool.
I guess it doesn't have to be a mid, right? When it says mage. I feel like it has to be mid. It's going to be mid, Nick. You know it.
I think it's going to be, but I think it would be really nice if they brought in an AP jungler and then introduced, I don't know, a rework for AP jungle item.
No, well, they already have Talia, so why would you need another
Yeah.
mid laner that can suddenly jungles extremely well?
Have you heard of Elise?
She
Yeah,
did get
Talia's
play at
better.
Worlds. Talia is better, sure. But at least spikes earlier.
And then the other thing is that, hey, are you an unhonorable piece of shit? Hey, did you only get chat restricted, not banned for using like bots and cheats and stuff, and you were just toxic? Well, then I have news for you. You can get your honors or your rewards still for like being whatever ELO you were. All you have to do is become honor level 2 by February 11th.
Are you a little upset, Aiden?
No, I think this is a good way of doing
No?
it. Though.
Okay.
I really do think this is a smart way of doing it, because it kind of does feel shitty for people who get like a 5-game chat restriction, who were like honor 5, and it just goes to honor 1 like a week before the season's over. You're like, oh, It feels like me being quote unquote the most honorable like level in league. Feel like I shouldn't been able to be put down that far very fast.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of crazy that you get dropped to 1.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be based off of like I
If
don't
it's just
know,
like minus
your
2.
time average. -2. Yeah, that could work.
Or even
Right,
if
where,
they
like,
put you
if
like
you're-
a checkpoint, like 1 checkpoint away from being back to honorable, like honor 1 checkpoint 3 or something, you know what I mean? Like I felt I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. I'm unhonorable now, but I can grind and become honorable.
Yeah. Or you could just not use racial slurs.
I
Or
didn't
you could
use
be
racial
hashtag
slurs.
reformed.
I called someone a monkey because they went blue cane.
I feel
Because
like
they were
monkey
eating a
is
banana. And
I called them. Either way, it's not right to say mean things to your teammates. But Riot
Yeah.
is blessing upon the toxic community and saying, "Hey, we want you guys to reform."
speaking of reformed, another
and they will
piece,
say no.
another piece of news. Speaking of reformed, did you guys see the like fucking WWE like Cutie Pie's team versus Tyler One's team? Like that video of them like fucking arguing on like the ring.
No, I saw
No.
like the event was gonna happen, but I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah, so they're doing like an event where Cutie Pie and Tyler One are each training like professional wrestlers to play League of Legends, and they're gonna battle. So they did like, you know, before like a big match, how all the time like the people that are fighting will be like in the ring with the microphones, just like shouting each other and like, you know, roasting each other. They did that for the match, and it's just like, it's the most ridiculous thing watching Cutie Pie walk down like a WWE ramp with like music going, and he's in basketball shorts and flip flops.
Fucking white t-shirt.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh,
That's awesome.
It was pretty funny. I'm excited to watch the match. It'll probably be awful, but it'll be like a beautiful train wreck, you know?
Do you know if Xavier Woods is participating?
Yeah, he is. He's the one who's like putting it together with up,
Oh,
up,
okay.
He's
down,
like the
down.
host,
What
I
is it?
think.
I think that's right. Up,
Yeah.
down, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he's like the host, I think.
He's cool. I like him a lot.
Mhm.
All
Yeah, I
right.
thought that was a little tiny piece of news, a little nugget of news.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, we had a
nug.
bunch of little nuggets today. This week.
There's really not
Kind of
like
a quiet
any
week.
big news though. Maybe next week we'll see some good news.
Is next week? No, the week after is patch week, right?
No, it's next
'Cause we
week is
just
patch
got-
week because we had
Really?
patch.
I thought this past week was a patch.
No, that was
week.
because we recorded.
Oh,
it
that was the
last
week before. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right.
So next
Okay.
week we'll get
So we'll have that.
8.22
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. Cool.
So look forward to that.
Yeah.
Let's get into the champion spotlight. Let's talk about Lissandra. We haven't done one of these in a hot minute.
Meta-Kaiser, thank you very much, Nick, because this is
Oh,
a
yeah.
meta character, and we're not going through characters A to Z, because that'd be silly to do.
Yeah, who would ever do something like that?
It would only
Yeah,
take
finished.
3 years. Yeah, so we're talking about Lissandra, the Ice Witch, I think is her name. Which isn't a very cool name.
It's not.
No,
I don't know.
it's not a very cool like subtitle. I think Lissandra is a fine name, but the Ice Witch.
Yeah.
Is it the Ice Witch?
It should be like the Frozen... I was going to
Like
say the Frozen Tome.
Watcher.
Yeah, the
or
Frozen
something.
Watcher would be good.
Find her.
Yeah, she's the Ice Witch.
The
Oh, there
Ice
she is, okay.
Witch.
Ice Witch is better than Frozen Watcher or whatever.
Frozen Watcher is really good. Let's be real.
I mean, I think Ice Witch is better than. I don't think it's that bad.
What if we call her Arthas?
What if
That'd be
what if
pretty
we
cool.
changed Talia and her abilities weren't rocks but they were sand and she'd be Talia the Sandwich? Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Gara the sandwich.
true.
Okay.
Um,
so what?
so
Who is she and what does she
Lissandra.
do?
She is a control mage with a whole bunch of CC that is good because assassins are good, and she's really good at stopping assassins from working.
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of she's less of a control mage and more of like an assassin / engage mage.
She's not an assassin. What the fuck are you smoking?
You build her AP and you one shot.
No, you
someone.
build
literally don't.
Aftershock, and you
Yeah,
will
what the
never
fuck?
die. And you're like, hey, you see this zone? You see this big fat area where your team can't go for 6 seconds because I throw out my claw and then I ult and then I Zonias and it's literally just this massive zone that you can't touch that I'm controlling with my pressure.
Yeah, she's a control mage initiator.
Yeah.
Played in the mid lane.
And that's Lissandra. Yeah, good job.
I was hoping our leader of this discussion
So
would.
so let's talk about some of her strengths, and I think particularly like why she's seen a rise in popularity. So she's got solid wave clear and pretty effective trading in the early game, which particularly like that early wave clear of just spamming your Q, your W's AOE, your E's AOE. So like all of it can be used to clear a wave quickly if you have to. So she can maintain pretty solid priority in the mid lane, which, we've seen definitely, having that early priority is a really big boon to your team. It lets you control scuttle crabs, lets you assist your jungler, all of that, very important things. I think the real big kind of development in Lissandra has been taking Aftershock, which is, pretty much allows you to always win trades with your W because you just get the bonus resist, and then just never really die to assassins, right? So the Akalis, the Aurelias, the Zeds of the world, they try and go in on you, and you just W, and not only are they snared, but you have like 100 armor and magic resist, and can just kind of walk away for free.
Mhm.
And I think that's really the big thing, is that she can push the waves, get priority in that extended position. She can then either, W walk away, or she can just E out. So she kind of has that get out of jail free card that lets her push in and control those assassins and stop them from snowballing.
So Colton,
And
what summoners would you take on this mid lane mage?
I mean, I think it's, always flash. If you really need cleanse, take it, but a lot of times you probably won't. Otherwise, I think it's teleport, ignite.
Mhm.
Teleport or ignite.
Yeah, those would be the two others. I'd say teleport's really good. I think she's super good at like being able to flank into fights. I love TPing bottom as Lissandra. I feel like that's undervalued.
Yeah, it's huge. I think really like the only reason you might need cleanse is if they've got like, Sejuani Malzahar or something like that, right? Where they're going to just chain CCU. Otherwise, probably teleport, if you think you might have a chance to get some early kills with your jungler, Ignite could really help you there. But probably it's just going to be, you know, teleport back to lane to keep control, or teleport to bottom and use your, you know, 3 seconds of hard CC to just port down there, get your 80 carry ahead, and, you know, move on.
Yeah. So looking into her Keystone, you mentioned it's definitely Aftershock. I feel like there's no reason why you'd take other things on her right now. I feel like that just makes her engage too strong. For her other runes in that tree, personally, I like to go, I guess, Resolve primary and Inspiration secondary, picking up Bone Plating, Chrysalisk, and Overgrowth. But the reason why I pick up Inspiration, I know a lot of people pick up Sorcery on her, is mainly for the Hexaflash. Hexaflash, and then the other one's kind of like up in the air, what you can take. Biscuits is fine, Time Work Tonic's fine, Cosmic Insight's fine. But the main thing is Hextech Flash is super good on her. You can use your E and start channeling Hexaflash, and then get an extra, like, flash range at the end of your E.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's super fucking
that's
crazy.
OP.
It's like, because not only are you coming out of your E at a different location, so people can't just, like, combo you, but it also just, like, it is unexpected, an unexpected extra amount of range.
So you can start channeling it, port to the end of your claw, and then Hexaflash?
So you
Is that what
you
you're
hit,
saying? Or
you
start
hit E.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I hit E. I'm shooting it towards mid. I start channeling Hexaflash while your E's going, and then as soon as it like finishes your E, so it'll like put you at the end of it when it reaches the end, you can immediately Hexaflash for that extra range.
Okay, so it doesn't cancel my channel when I move to the end of my E.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, that's just what I was confirming. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
that's-
really good.
That's pretty cool. I think that like the other option though is definitely you could take Stopwatch. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's any problem with taking a Stopwatch. I think that what you're describing is a really strong thing. Those are in the same. I'm not just talking.
They
about
are on
the
the same tree, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same tree, but the same like level. Yeah.
Yeah, the same line.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I think if you're not going to take Hexaflash, I think Perfect Timing is the best because, like, I think those are really the two options. Because 15% off your Zonias brings it more in line with your ultimate cooldown, so you can get in there and again have that zone control for like 5 seconds, which is huge.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like that's like the Hextech Flash is an option that is
People
not
wouldn't really consider.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another mechanic to add to your kit.
Well, I think most people wouldn't consider it because, I mean, I think that's something that's kind of not normal in League, is being able to use an ability and then do like that, I guess.
I'll link the video of it just for chat, by the way. It's this one right here that I originally saw this. It's really fucking good, though, like what you can use it for. It's a video by Heisendong on his channel, to shout him out.
Is that just with Lysandra, or is that with other...
It's just with Lysandra. It's like
Yeah.
another thing that Challenger players are picking up on her.
Yeah, right. Like that's one of those things that might become just standard practice, right? Like you don't play you don't play Lysandra unless you're gonna E Hexaflash.
I feel like this will probably get nerfed before it becomes standardized.
Probably, but like it's one of those things, right? That could become like if it doesn't get nerfed, it could become like the insect thing, where like if you don't know how to do this, you're not a good Lysandra player, just like an insect kick on Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess so. Moving on though, how do we skill her and how do we build her?
So max Q for the wave clear, it lowers the cooldown and increases the damage. It gets down to like a 2.5 second cooldown or something ridiculous like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think E second.
So most people max W on her, which I do think is better because the root does go up from I think 1 to 1.5. But
Oh, do they really max W for lane?
Really?
yeah, it's like 70% maxed after
Oh,
after
wow.
Q. But
Wait, after Q. You're saying?
after
sorry, it's always Q first.
Okay.
Don't get. I'm not. A
No,
Q
yeah.
master.
That's why I was like, wait, what? Am I?
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
No,
I
can you
thought people
imagine
still max
maxing
Q.
W on her?
I
no,
did
but
that in ARAM.
I do think there is merit to maxing E second though, because the cooldown drops from 24 to 12. I don't think it's better than maxing W second, but I don't think it's bad.
I think it has merit, and there's certain cases I think where it might be better, but I think the strength of her right now definitely lies in the CC, so probably W. Yeah, that sounds right. Even though I just said
I mean, the only reason I like maxing E second is because it's a lot safer wave clear. Granted, I mean, you can clear an entire wave with QE.
Same with QW, and it's a lower cooldown.
I mean, yeah, but then you have to get melee range to cast your W, right?
Yeah, but then also you're blowing your escape on wave clear. So, right, that's like those are the two arguments: is that either you're walking into melee range, but you have your escape up, or you have your escape down, but you get to do it from range.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a personal preference. I mean, I am not a Lissandra expert, but like whenever I play her, I like to max E second.
If you want to play the game suboptimally, just listen to Nick's segment.
And that wraps up this week's edition of Nick Cooper is Wrong.
What do we think for build, though? I feel like her build's pretty straightforward. I guess not pretty straightforward. There's lots of different like cool items you can build on her.
So I think in a lot of cases you're rushing Merc Treads, right? I feel like that's a pretty common thing on Lissandra mid, is like rush Merc Treads. Like, because most mid laners like try and get their first core item out of the way. Like, I think Lissandra's one of those couple that you just get Merc Treads as soon as possible, so you like can't really be ganked at all, and then you just take even less damage from trades because you've got that magic resist plus the bonus from your aftershock. After that, do you go a lost chapter item like a Ludens, or
so? I guess going back to the boot discussion really quick, I do believe that the only two good choices for her are Merc Treads and Source Shoes, but I don't think Source Shoes are that bad of a choice, though. I feel like they're actually really good, because I feel like you're doing a lot of single target damage and you can nuke someone pretty hard. But I do agree that Merc Treads are super good in like this mid game, not even mid game, like say like 10 to 15 minute scenario where you're super susceptible to ganks. Because your E does take a while to charge and can be denied pretty easily.
Yeah, plus like the great thing about Merc Treads is that if you start your E and then get stunned, it gets you out of it in time to be able to use it, right?
Yeah. Like,
and again, that's a pretty like fringe case, but you know, against a good player, right? They're not going to stun you right as you cast your E. They're going to cast it. You know, they're going to stun you once it's getting to the end, so you can't actually reactivate and move to it.
That's the mind game you get to play, right? Where you can activate it earlier if you know that they're going to stun you near the end of it.
Yeah.
But I guess for the rest of her build, I guess if we just went through items more than... I guess like there's items that you build earlier in the game, the items you build later in the game, but I feel like that none of them are like a bad order, really. Like I feel like Protobelt, Zhonya's, and Morello are all like items that you build earlier in the game. And then you have stuff like...
Do you go Ludens at all, or do you go right to other ones?
I think Ludens is... I mean, it's fine on her, but she already has the wave clay, right? So you're more just building it for the AP at that point, I guess.
And like, I feel like the cooldown reduction, really.
Maybe when she... Because I guess her passive's changing next patch, where they're making it so she creates, like, spooky skeletons, right? And that will get rid of her mana passive. So maybe you'll need Ludens more next patch, I guess, because of the 600 mana on it. But right now, I don't think Ludens is, like, needed.
Okay, so, yeah, probably, like, Hex, or, what is it, Protobelt into Hourglass?
Protobelt Hourglass is pretty good.
That's probably the first two, typically. And again, room for customization depending on your matchup.
Yeah, because Hourglass creates the dream scenario where you can E in, use your W to proc your Aftershock to get 70-70 resist. So you're just like unkillable for 2 seconds. And then you can Zhonya's, and then you can ult yourself. Like that's what, like 7 seconds of being pretty well unkillable?
Yeah.
But yeah, then you're looking at, like, it depends on, I guess, the game. But those are your, say, core items being boots, Protobelt, Zhonya's. Then looking at items like Morello, Hat, Void Staff, maybe a Banshees if you need it. Stuff like that.
Banshees, even maybe an Abyssal Mask, I think if you have a heavy AP team. It's probably pretty fringe, but like if you had like a Rumble top and maybe, you know, like a partial magic damage AD carry like a Kai'Sa or an Ezreal, I think it could be pretty strong. I don't think, though, you do enough damage to really justify it just on yourself, or if you only had one other AP, I don't think it'd be worth it. But if you had like 1.5 or 2, I think it's pretty decent. It gives you more health, resistance, and cooldown reduction.
It's also good to mention Abyssal Mask because she is one of the few mages that can actually utilize it properly, being an engaged mage.
Sits, yeah, she engages and she sits in the middle of their team.
I see a lot of
backline.
Yeah, I see a lot of people build that item though on like mages because they're like, oh, it makes me do more magic damage, but then they're never in range to have it active because it is a very short range. It's like I'd say the average mage auto attack range sort of thing, maybe even shorter than that.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, you're not normally close enough to utilize it, but Lissandra, you probably will be.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, do you anything else you want to really cover?
I think she's versatile in the fact that she can be played top and mid, and I feel like she's good in both of those roles. So if you have an AD jungle / mid, you can play her top, and she's good. She also like can utilize TP, so her playing her top means you're not giving up like TP pressure.
Yeah, and I think she fits the role of like top lane mage pretty well, because like when you think traditional top lane mages, you think right Kennen and Rumble, and then like more recently, right, you can add like Vladimir and Victor to the list, and
yeah, and Swain maybe.
All of them have pretty distinct features of like can do things from range and create a zone that you don't want the other team in, right? Like Rumble ult, Kennen ult, Vlad ult, Victor ult. They're all just big, great zoning tools. And, you know, Lissandra is the same thing except for she's the zoning tool, right? She walks up and creates that zone where you can't go. And that's really, really effective if it's, you know, if it's a dragon fight and we're like, well, you can't go on that ramp down a dragon because Lissandra's there. Or, you know, we're diving mid and, well, we can't really push into their backline because Lissandra's there. You know, she's just an excellent zoning tool in that front line.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put that, actually. I think it's a smart way of saying that.
And I mean, I think it's really, like, you can see when you, like, make that comparison, like, why are all of those top mages good for the same reason?
Mm-hmm.
So they create that zone you can't pass and let you control team fights that way, whereas traditional tanks create that zone with, like, their bodies, you know? You can't pass through because there's a Mundo in your face. Well, you also can't pass through if there's a Rumble ult there.
Yeah. To be honest, I think we kind of touched on it a little bit of strengths and weaknesses, but is there anything else you wanted to mention? I guess like the only thing I wanted to echo from what you said was her effectiveness versus assassins. I think she's extremely good against, like, say, the Akalis, Irelias, Talons, Zeds of the world that we're seeing a lot of, because first of all, she's easy to play, and second of all, she completely just, the way her kit works and the way she itemizes just fucks those characters. Like, say instead, if you didn't go the Hexaflash, you went the Stopwatch. Not only do you get 77-year resist when one of them engages on you by using your W, which is easy as hell to hit, you also are at some point going to have a Stopwatch, a Zonias, you're building armor, and you have like your Keystone doing resist work for you. And you have easy escapes as well. And you also have lockdown. Like, you shouldn't be able to be killed by these assassins, which I think negates a lot of problems that lower elo players have.
Yeah, and I think it also, like, in a lot of cases, just kind of gives you that win, right? Like, if Zed doesn't pop off, you probably win that game. You know, considering everything else is even. You know, if Talon doesn't pop off, you probably win that game. So she's a really good, like, slow and steady kind of thing. The other thing, I don't know if you mentioned it, I had to step away from my mic for a second, was just, you can extend the range of her E through terrain, just like you could, like, a flash or something, where the end of the claw just needs to be, like, kind of past the halfway mark is, you know, the easy way to say it, where, you know, if the end of your claw is in the terrain, as long as it's close to the edge you want to go to, it'll pop you over to the other side. So you can go a little farther.
Yeah, so, like, I guess the main time you're going to be using that is, like, not being pushed up against a wall, but, like, being, say, 200 or 500 range away from a wall, then using your E and still going over it. But the only time that I think you actually, like, increase the range, really, of your dash is, say, you're ganking bottom through try on blue side. I feel like that's the biggest use of that.
That's the big usage. I think also, if you were pushing onto, like, that second tier tower in bottom mid, you can get over that, like, thick wall Do you know what I mean? That those second
Yeah,
tier on
yeah.
the side lanes? Like, you can go over that wall a little bit further than you normally could. And again, if they're not watching for that claw that's inside the wall, it could even be an extra surprise factor.
Yeah, I mean, not that it matters because it's 3v3, but I think her and Bard are the only characters that can go over from the jungle into the base, using her E and his E. So
Oh, that's not correct. There's another character, Aiden.
what is it?
That'd be Kane.
Oh, I guess that's true. Okay.
That'd be 10 points to Colton for the trivia tracker if anyone's on that. Thank you.
Do you want to play wall comp on threes where we just play Bard, Lysandra, Kane?
Yeah. and then their team is like Jarvan, Anivia, Trundle.
Yeah, we own them, dude.
Yeah, we just got to get other people to pick that.
Yeah.
Easy.
Cool.
So yeah, I think that's most of Lysandra. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say. Her
It's
Q,
really straightforward.
I guess the way her Q works, it doesn't turn into the cone unless you hit something with the first part, right?
It has to hit something, yeah.
Yeah, so you can extend the range of your Q kind of in a way. You can like throw it at the minions, and then when it breaks into the cone, hit somebody behind it. Whereas if you tried to just Q directly at them from that range, it wouldn't hit. So just, yeah, I guess, know that with your Q that realistically you're probably going to be using it to clear waves, but you can also get some good poke with it if you line that up properly.
Yeah, and it's also important to note that like if it breaks like melee range of you, then it will shatter like into like whatever range. So like it's a very long range skill shot if you hit something at the very max range of the skill shot. So I think that's just like it's one of those things that a lot of people won't expect to be hit by it from that far away if you position properly. Best skin?
Coven.
That's toxic.
We should have waited. It's Coven for sure.
Let me look at her current skins, even though Coven's probably the right answer.
Yeah, let's go with the cup, dude. Look at her. Look at those chromos though on the website. You see those now, Nick?
They're really good.
How good does the aquamarine one look? Oh,
Oh, I didn't know they had names. I just
the
looked at
blue
the
one.
colors.
I think
Blue
the
one.
current
I like the purple one.
of the current skins, I think probably Program is the best.
Nick says that's the worst skin line. So
I think Program is the worst skin line. It just looks awful.
Program or Project?
Program.
Okay.
I think it looks fine, Colton. Personally, I like the Bloodstone, but like the new skin looks the best, and I think the chromos are some of the best chromos they've made so far.
Mm-hmm. I guess of her existing skins, I'd say Blade Queen.
All right, so
Her-
an equal
her
three-way
ulti's
tie.
Yeah,
Her ulti's the Iron Maiden, which is sick.
yeah.
That is pretty cool, yeah. All right,
Cool.
that's Lysandra.
Yeah, hopefully you
Round
learned
table.
something. Make sure to pick her up because I think she's actually really easy to play and is a mage that I think a lot of people don't play currently.
And I think she fits a really nice role where you can pick her like when you need her. If that's not like your like right, if you don't main control mages, maybe if you're like an assassin mid player, she's an easy control mage to pick up, and it's really nice to have a control mage as like a pocket pick. If Akali didn't get banned and they have the Akali, and you're maybe not too confident about playing Fizz into their Akali, right? You can just pick the control mage and have that safe lane.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that whole thing why like Malzahar is so good in like solo queue is like just pick a character with CC. Like honestly, like if you just pick characters with CC, it's so much easier to like work with your team. Like if a jungle ganks and neither of you have CC or only one of you has CC, then that person has to hit it or the gank fails. But you just being able to engage from 700 feet away and then ult them, like it's just a free kill every single time. Cool. Roundtable. So last week's question was, what role do you main and why? Matthew Hillman said, whatever Riot picks for me, ARAM's only my dudes. I agree, man. Devin said ADC because 5v2s under turret are a rush of adrenaline. I was thinking about this a couple days ago, but how much more fun is it, Colton or Nick, when you see like the top TP down, you see the mid roaming, you see the jungle behind your turret, you see the AD carry and support there, and you go, I could walk away right now. I could get out of this. But then you go, what if we turn to the 5v2? You know what I mean? And
Right?
you take
No,
it,
I
you take
totally
it every single
agree.
time.
You take it every time. You're just like, Like, there's a 99% chance that we're both gonna die and get nothing, but I might just get a triple kill and walk out of this.
You know how mad their team is when they die from that, though?
Yeah.
The game's over for them.
And you're just like, yikes, in all chat.
Yeah, you just give them you spam the, as the classic tale goes, the vain retard alert spam. Joshua said mid/support because I'm a power bottom. Kennedy said support because I have 2 X chromosomes. Casey said support. I joined when my WoW friends joined. I've always been a healer main. Soraka was easier for my MMO brain to understand, so the role just stuck. I feel like healers, are like one of the more, I guess, straightforward classes, which is kind of nice.
I feel like that name is pronounced Cassie. There's 2 S's.
It sure is. Yeah, I didn't see the second S. Cassie.
Thanks, Cassie.
Brian said Phil because I feel like I don't get experience all of League otherwise. I was thinking about filling next season, only filling.
Really?
My only problem is I don't want to play AD carry, Nick. Why can't you fill then choose one role you don't want to play?
Yeah, right? That's been a problem for me for a long time because I play ranked Phil a lot. Like, just Phil as primary. But I wish you could do Phil primary and then the secondary is what you don't want to play.
I don't see why not. Like, I feel like it'd get more people to fill, you know what I mean? And it would just be a better experience.
Because anytime I fill, there's always like, at that point, there's like, I don't really want to play one of these, but I am happy to play any of the other 4.
From our Discord, Tutton, Colton, how do I pronounce this? Because you tell me how to pronounce everything, right?
Teuton
Tuton said support because I'm old. I'm too old to learn the harder roles, man. That's kind of like the problem Nick's having right now.
Yeah, he's almost 50.
I thought he was 74. X Master said, ADC, I feel like I have more to offer during a fight with auto attacks rather than waiting on cooldowns to do damage. Plus, you become the most powerful champion in the late game. Okay, that's a joke. As long as you get to late game and not get assassinated early in the fight.
Not get assassinated. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how powerful your AD carry is. If I can just QW on a mage and you're dead, doesn't matter.
I do agree, though. Like, okay, so there's very few AD carries that I actually think are super, like, the strongest character in the game late game. But characters like Kai'Sa, when they're 6 items, it's fucked. I actually just... I want to just play 6-item Kai'Sa Vayne every single game. Like... Barry said, my IGN is Baby Faker. Mid is a selfish role. When you're bored, you can roam, you can steal enemy raptors, you can demand gank / blame getting camped. If you're good, you might even be able to carry. It's the best. The Mighty Throb said, I'm a top lane at heart. I did it to learn to wave control, dueling, map awareness, and practice CSing. Plus, that way we make sure that we don't have a top lane Victor going 0-19. But I'm a better support. I just want to get better and be able to do both roles sufficiently. That's fair. And then last but not least, we got Lieutenant Flip Flop, and he said, I main jungle because I like having the RNG chance of no winning lanes, no matter how much time I put into them. That's the classic, right, Colton?
Oh yeah, 3 losing lanes. And like I don't mind if the jungler did something good, but when we're both like on our second buff just clearing the jungle and I see 2 of my lanes are already like lost or losing, I just want to die.
My favorite is when you camp a lane. Like, say you early gank bottom and get them a double, and then you gank them again, you get them like another double, and then you just like, you're like, okay, the game's set, and then they start losing bottom.
Yeah, and then they get solo killed by their lane opponents who are down like a pickaxe and boots, and you're like,
And then your entire team goes, what the fuck, you haven't been ganking my lane? And you're like, no, I got bottom ahead. They're like, they're losing, you didn't get them ahead.
Yeah, bottom is losing. I play jungle because I'm a masochist.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. This week's roundtable question, though, is also wild because it's suggested by David last week in an email. He said, what fictional character, gaming / TV / movies would you like to see in LoL as a crossover? Suggested by David.
I
already have my answer.
I'm trying to think what character would like actually fit really well thematically into League of Legends.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say hot take. I don't want them to take an already existing fictional character and add it to League.
Okay, you're stupid, dude.
I think characters. I don't know. I think League would lose something as soon as they introduce a character who already exists somewhere.
Nick, I agree with you on that point. I don't think that they should do crossover characters. Like, I feel like if that was gonna happen, it should be like a MOBA with like all crossover characters, right? Like that would be fun.
Yeah, but they already have this established. Like, oh, there's 150 unique characters.
But regardless, because there's so many characters that I'm like, you could just make skins for them and like and make crossovers that way. Like you could make a Daredevil Lee Sin skin. I'm a blind fighter guy. It makes sense. But if I had to pick a character,
I can help you narrow it down because my character is Sonic, so you can choose any character from sonicworldfangame.com/characters.
no.
Easy.
They
Shadow
could
the
just,
Hedgehog.
they could just make a Rammus Sonic skin.
No,
Like
no.
Sonic Rammus
Sonic's his
skin.
own character because when he gets his
No.
ult, he gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and he turns into the. Is he gold
Yeah.
when he gets all 7? I don't remember.
Yeah, he goes like Super Saiyan.
Super Sonic.
Yeah, Super Sonic. Has Shadow ever gone Super Shadow? There's got to be fan art for that, right?
Whoa! What if
Wow, Aiden,
Sonic's
you okay?
W Nick is he eats a chili dog?
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Shadow gets all 7
Ooh, okay.
Chaos
No. Just Google Super Shadow the Hedgehog, dude.
I want Spyro. I want Spyro in League of Legends. That's my answer.
Yeah, we have Shyvana.
No, I want him to be actually good and cool.
But he has
Spyro,
everything that Shyvana does.
Spyro is 1,000 times better than Shyvana. Spyro is best dragon. Fight me.
Yeah.
I love the Spyro games growing up. That's my answer, Aiden. You can flame me for it, but I was just answering the round table.
Okay.
All I'm saying is look at this and tell me it's not the coolest.
Dude, all I'm
It's not
saying,
the coolest.
I'm watching this animation, Nick, right now. It's called Chaos Emerald Z Hyper Shadow, and this guy made a animation where Sonic like goes Super Saiyan, and he looks so cool. He's like yellow with like red on him instead of black with red. It's super sick. By the way, I don't actually like Sonic, but
Well,
just I don't want that to be out there. You know what I mean?
All I heard is you actually like Sonic.
Yeah.
oh, it's just the scene from
Yeah.
Is this Majin Vegeta?
I'm not sure, honestly. Anyways, if you want to tell us what fictional character
cool.
you would like to see in LoL as a crossover, you can hit us up on our Facebook at LeagueCast, send us an email, mail@leaguecastpodcast.com, or come into our Discord and post in our roundtable section.
Yeah. Cheese pick. So this week's cheese pick is going to be full AP Predator Amumu. So for those of you who don't know, Amumu's base damage is very high. Amumu's scalings are also pretty high. He does a lot of burst damage, especially if you hit the Q. So if you build him full AP and you take Predator, you're going to walk into lane at Mach speed, like QE, and they'll just be dead. You're still going to max E. If you're taking this, though, you're going to max Q second instead of W just for that upfront burst. You're going to get your Runic Echoes. You can go into some early Magic Pen, like Sorcerer's Shoe, into the first component of Morello. What is that called? Oblivion Orb, I think?
Yeah.
And then really after that point, you can get like tankier stuff. You can like finish your Morellos. You can get a Leandri's Torment. You can get an Abyssal Mask. You still basically 100 to 0 anyone who's not a tank because your base damages are so high and because you deal bonus magic damage from your passive. We're going to pair it with Akawi cheese or Akawi cheese. I'm not really sure. It's a cow's milk cheese. It's let's see here. It's a white cheese, the smooth texture and a mild salty taste. It's often used as a table cheese or eaten with fruit. And I guess it's an Arabic in origin. So yeah, that's this week's cheese.
Hey, Colton.
Yeah.
Who's one of the strongest champs right now?
Who's one of the strongest champs right now?
Ooh, it's Akawi.
Got me.
Hey, Mailfy, because we don't have any LCS news. Patrick says, in before Nick changes the podcast name to the Jerking Off Dotacast XD. Also, I second Colton's recommendation on Avatar, as the Legend of Korra series is good as well. See Yule next week, Patrick.
Does anyone else have some children's cartoons they want to recommend to us?
Dude, Aiden, you would cry. You would cry if you watched Avatar.
I love DW.
Fucking Tales of Ba Sing Se,
Fucking Binky.
saddest moment in fucking
The episode where
cinematic
he pushes
history.
her down.
Remember that episode where she gets bigger than the house?
I hate you guys.
You ever seen Caillou? Holy shit, dude.
Shut up. You fucking you want some actual recommendations for some children's
No.
cartoons? Let's go.
No.
No,
Yeah,
not
that's
at
the
all.
joke.
I will recommend you shit, brother.
Also, I've tried to rename it to the Jerking Off Dotacast, but they won't let me, so
Yeah, now that we're sponsored, no way.
we're stuck. Cool. Thanks,
Now that we're
Patrick.
sellouts, sorry, I misspoke. Email from Victor, another strong character in League of Legends right now. Says, "Hi Leaguecast. I think the best way to fix League and NA is to fix the internet here. I don't think you guys know how shitty the internet is in the United States. I come from Mexico, a third world country, mind you, where I had a fiber optic connection uncapped to the NA server that got me a better ping and no lag spikes for $30 a month. When I moved to Phoenix, the only ISP available to me is shitty ass coax internet. I get 70 milliseconds ping for League with lag spikes of 200 to 300 every 6 minutes or so. And even when I complain to the ISP, it doesn't get fixed. Most of the time the game is unplayable, and I suspect a lot of people in NA have the same issues. Pretty hard to have a talent pool of players when most people have this type of connection. Oh, and by the way, it cost me $100 a month with a 1 terabyte data cap, which Netflix eats up every month. What do you guys think if the internet in the US is better? Wouldn't League feel a lot better as a game?" So I'm gonna just straight up agree with you. The infrastructure of the internet in the United States is like pretty garbage compared to a lot of places. And it's one of those things where a lot of our infrastructure is pretty shit because we were among the first to develop it. And it's like, it's really expensive for not a lot of benefit to go back and put in all new lines for things, right? Because these companies are making their money off all their subscriptions, and there's so few of them that you really can't, like, there's not a better option, and you can't really change because it's just going to be the same everywhere. So they can either spend millions of dollars renovating or leave it the same because you don't really have a choice.
So, it's not actually the infrastructure that is the issue. It's just the company. The company is limiting the speed of the internet because I believe copper cable can handle high speed internet just fine for everyone. It's just that in the US, at least, it costs a lot to like set up the infrastructure. So new companies don't compete. So these huge companies like Comcast, like Cox, have essentially monopolies on the ISP market. And there's nothing that the government is willing to do about it because lobbying is legal in the US, where I feel like it's less legal in other countries because it's kind of a shitty thing to do.
I mean, it's basically big companies get to buy the laws that they want passed.
See, net neutrality.
Yeah.
But it's too expensive. There's no reason for these companies to
Make it better.
There's no competition to drive these companies to provide a better product because in most markets you only have one option.
You normally have like one, if not two, and they're probably the same.
And sure, yeah, you may have like a choice between Comcast, Cox, or a local.
I mean, like I think Comcast,
somewhere.
like Cox, and Time Warner Cable are like the big three. I've not heard of Cox, so I'm assuming that's more of a southern thing, and I think Time Warner Cable is more of a western thing. Here I think we felt like the choice of like AT&T or Comcast, but again, either way, it's pretty much the same. But I mean, so I agree, Nick, that it's majority the company's just not using the network to its maximum, but also like our infrastructure is outdated as compared to a lot of other places because like we were putting it in first. So a lot of the, newer developments we don't have because, well, we already had a thing set up. Not that our system can't handle as it is, but
I mean, sure, we can't handle fiber optic on, the copper cable we have now.
Mm-hmm. Right, but like if someone decided that they wanted to put, internet into like fucking Madagascar, right? Like they'd be putting down all fiber optic cable because that's just the standard, right? Or not the standard, but like that's where the technology is now. So if you're going to pay to do it, that's what they'd put in.
Yep.
You excited for Google Fiber?
In Madagascar? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where is Google Fiber?
I think Google Fiber is just starting in Chicago right now, though.
I think Chicago's getting it. They definitely had it in Austin.
No, they have it in a ton of places. Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
in a lot of big cities.
Out of the two places you guys are in, being Florida and Chicago, I believe they're starting to implement it in Chicago.
Yeah, not Tallahassee at least.
I think it's in Miami, Florida. Is the only place in Florida.
Yeah, Miami would make sense.
And Disneyland. Disneyland's got fiber optic cable.
Yeah, that's what it says right on the website. Disneyland, Florida.
But yeah, no, I think I don't think that is a huge contributing factor to like why NA is not as good as other regions. But I definitely, as just someone who plays a lot of games, it's frustrating getting disconnected or having lag spikes or high ping, just because, hey, ISPs don't give a fuck about us.
I mean, I think the biggest issue here is not the 70 ms ping for League, because you kind of just get used to it, and you still get to maybe not as high of a level, but pretty comparable in the end. But yeah, varying ping is the biggest killer, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But I mean, playing 70 ping, maybe you're one division down for where you would be if you were at like 10 ping. But if you're consistently getting like 200 to 300 spikes, then that's when you start getting into, oh, well, we lost the team fight because I lagged, or I missed the Baron smite because I was lagging. That's big. But I mean, bigger picture things.
My ping is like consistently like 45, 46, which isn't great. It's not the worst. It's certainly more than playable, but it's not the reason that I'm, stuck in D5. If I had fiber optic cable and I got 6 ping, that wouldn't make me that much better of a player. So, thanks, Victor. Hey, that'll do it for LeagueCast. Once again, thank you to GameFlip Gigs for sponsoring us. You can follow us on Twitter at LeagueCast and at LeagueCastFrost. Facebook is LeagueCast. Talk to us on TeamSpeak, ts@leaguecastpodcast.com. Send us emails, mail at leaguecastpodcast.com. Check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/bluebasket and /KingLardout. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/LeagueCast. And that'll do it for episode, what is this, 353? 354, I think?
Maybe. 350
One of those
something.
Sounds about right.
Hey, this episode.
It is 353.
353, so I did write it correctly. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.